Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mindset Matters. If you are here today or you're watching the replay, it's because you made a decision to say goodbye to guessing about what your body needs and say hello to knowing your body and getting good results. My name is Melissa Rodibaugh, and I am the CEO of Callan Hahn Enterprises. I also lead our lifestyle coaching program and work one-on-one with our lifestyle clients. You know, the interesting thing about lifestyle coaching is that no matter which direction our client needs to go, meaning they need to focus on professional life, personal life, or a blend of everything in between, there is always one key component at the center for all of them, no matter what. It's the root of the work that we do, and it's mindset. I get it. Mindset can sometimes feel kind of like a fluffy word that everybody just throws around all the time. And truth be told, it's a buzzworthy topic. So there's a reason you're hearing so much about it. The reason being, it can really tip the scales and be the difference maker between where you are today and where you want to go in the future. So here are the three biggest points that we're going to talk about today in terms of why mindset matters. We are going to talk about your decisions, discipline versus consistency, and the one thing that you need to know in order to maximize your success. So, guys, I'm not sure if you knew this, but all day long, your mind is telling you little stories based on your past behaviors about what you're going to do next, what you're capable of, and what can you even dare to dream about. The thing is, it's at the subconscious level where a lot of those tiny decisions are being made that paint the story of how you're making decisions and how you're living your day. Our brains are hardwired to seek out comfort and security. So we are literally wired at the deepest level to choose what is easier, no matter if it's a lot easier or just a little bit easier. Okay, what do I mean by this? Let's just use some examples, okay? It's the night before, it's the night before and you're setting your alarm, night before your day, right? Setting your alarm for 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Which one feels harder? Getting out of bed when your alarm goes off or hitting snooze? Getting dressed for the gym or staying in your pajamas and drinking coffee just a little bit longer? Eating foods that serve you well or choosing foods that don't? And the list goes on. When I'm saying this, these decisions sound so easy, right? I'm getting up or I'm not. I'm making a healthy food choice that's going to love me back, or I'm not. But the reality is there's so much going on in your brain that sometimes filtering through the noise to make the best decision can be really tricky. So if you're here today, I feel really proud for you and hope that you feel proud hearing this, because the reality is, if you're here, you are already starting to go against the grain and embrace the uncomfortable so that you can be better. Simply put, you're ready to pull up your sleeves and redefine what healthy means for you. And that is a long journey that started today with one decision: to join the U Factor. So I want to workshop this quite a bit with you, because when we're talking about mindset, it's a personal thing, right? It's your mind. And there's so much going on in there. The way to take a step forward is to make sure that, yeah, you have some inspiration, but also that you can kind of call out At a subconscious level, those things that are running through your mind. Because when you call them out, you can own them and either decide that they're serving you and you believe them, or that they're not. And it is just time to toss them aside and not give them any more power or energy. Okay, so grab a piece of paper for me. I'm going to give you a second. Paper? Okay, good. What I'd love for you to do is write big and bold across the top of your sheet of paper, I have decided. I have decided. An easy one for all of you watching this is I have decided to make my health a priority. But take a moment and write down all of the other things that come to mind. I want you to literally brain dump what you have decided. If you've never heard that phrase before, essentially what I want you to do is think to yourself, I have decided, and go through all of the micro decisions that you are making that are going to change this chapter for you. So, what have you decided to already change, let go of, or do better in your life? I want to give you a little bit of time and space here just to journal it out. If you need some encouragement or help with knowing where to go, think about your future self. So, if I am future Melissa, how am I showing up for my life? How do I feel? What's my energy level like? What are the things that I do on a daily basis? I don't go through the drive-through. I'm prepping my food. I'm making sure that I have what my body needs. I'm doing these things that are aligned with who I want to be. So, what are the decisions that you can make today that are going to help get you there? This list might take some time to build. So, we're going to move on, but I encourage you to come back because there could be a lot of things that you need to work on that aren't just about your food. And that's awesome. And I applaud you because that means you're thinking seriously about who your future self is and what it's going to take to be that person. So, if you are a busy mom and you're watching this, or you're a parent, or you're in a season of life that's really crazy, I'm guessing it might have been a little while since you decided to do something that was all about you. If you've watched us or know us at Callahan Enterprises, that's exactly what we stand for. And we're encouraging you to embrace every bit of it. Taking care of yourself so that you can show up better for all the people around you is 100% what we believe in. It is okay for making your health a priority, all about you, right? It's okay to take the time to make sure that you are taken care of. It's also what makes our company very different because our systems that we have in place, our programs, they start with you. We don't build them based on a theory or an idea of how someone may react to something or how it may make someone feel. We do it based on science and facts and knowing that we're all different. So by the time all is said and done, when you take the time to focus on yourself, you are going to learn so much and have the most information on your body that you potentially have ever had. Having this knowledge is super important, and make no mistake, it is the core of what you're going to do. But taking action once you have the knowledge is quite another thing. Okay, so you might be thinking, all right, well, isn't signing up for this program like taking enough action, getting back my sensitivity analysis and learning what my body needs? Isn't that enough to just know? The reality is, like, if I'm being honest, yes and no. It's a complicated question. You see, the thing is, you can learn and learn and learn about any topic in the world. But until you act with intention, that knowledge is as valuable as the piece of paper that it's sitting on. So I'm going to say that again. You can learn and learn and learn, but until you act with intention, that knowledge is powerless. Custom nutrition is the core principle of the U factor. And as you're beginning to navigate your sensitivity analysis, having an awareness around all of the things that really make up what our health looks like your sleep, your energy, any symptoms that you may be battling, you're going to start to just take inventory of these things. And you're also going to start seeing that your mind is what is willing you to act in a manner that serves you in the best possible ways. Have any of you ever been in a position where you're like, I know what I should do right now, but man, that is just not what I feel like doing? That is why mindset is really important. We're going to talk about what mindset can do to help you get to the person who makes decisions their future self will thank them for, and how your mind is actually the one controlling the ship that's going to determine exactly where you land. Okay, grab that piece of paper. If you ran out of room, flip it over, draw a line in the middle, do what you need to do. Here's what I want to ask you. What is your goal right now with your health? It can be weight driven. It can be symptom driven. It can be energy levels, feeling a certain way, confidence to show up a certain way. Or it can be, hey, I want to take the time to invest in myself now so that down the road, I am still healthy as a grandparent playing with my grandkids. Okay. I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to let you guys write that down and be as specific as you possibly can. When you're looking at your goal and you're thinking 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now about where you want to go and who you want to be, what's that person look like? Are their symptoms gone? How do you feel? How do your clothes fit? How are you interacting in relationships? What is your relationship like with food? I want to also ask you, what are your habits like? What's your life look like from the time you wake up until you lay your head on the pillow at night? What does the cadence of your life feel like? If I'm hearing the word consistency quite a bit pop up in your head. Consistency, habits, healthy habits, these are all things that are really, really important to get from where you are today to where you want to go. And consistency is also a word like mindset that you have likely heard before. It's often thought about as showing up day after day, regardless of your results, right? But I want to ask you, have you ever noticed that consistency is all about action? It's about you and it's about what you are doing. Consistency is about being predictable. It's like we know what to expect from our future selves and from ourselves today, and you are seeing it and doing it consistently. I do not want to minimize the importance of consistency, but instead, guys, I really want us to talk about discipline. When I looked up the word discipline, I was looking for the definition, and here's what I found. The root word of discipline is disciple. It means to teach or to guide. Discipline is the way that you are teaching yourself and guiding yourself on the topic of health, nutrition, fitness, and hopefully mindset from this day forward. Discipline is the difference between talking to a person who's telling you about their goals and that they hope they can do it versus talking to the person telling you about their goals and you can like see that twitch in their eye that lets you know that they are confident that without a shadow of a doubt, they are going to accomplish what they have set out to do. Discipline is how you make yourself feel it, not just see it on a piece of paper or go through the motions. So I've talked a lot, guys, about theories and principles and words. And with your blessing, I would just love to tell you a story for a minute. It's a story about me, and I love focusing on you the most. But hopefully, this story about me can inspire you and help you see what I mean about consistency versus discipline, okay? For probably the past 10 years, really before I even found and started working with Callan, I was consistent. I was exercising. I was focused on trying to choose the right foods and be healthy. And I did a lot of mindset work. I was an entrepreneur. I ran my own business. I consistently worked. I consistently exercised. I consistently made good food choices. If you ask my kids, my family, my close friends, those were always the big pillars of life that were top of mind for me. I would meal prep, I worked out, I thought about it and made sure that it was a conscious choice for me every day. I often got the question, like, how often do you work out? You are so consistent. We'd go on vacation. People'd see that I still hit the gym. Like, how are you doing that? How are you so consistent? Well, in January of 2023, I started a different fitness and health journey with a really big goal in mind. I had worked with Callan for a full year at this point, and I was feeling better than I did in an entire decade. And guys, if you don't know my background, I encourage you go listen to our podcast. In the third episode, I really go into the difficulties that I had, but high level view, surgeries, ER visits, liquid diets, trying anything to keep my tummy calm, my inflammation down. I was a mess. I was just a mess for a long time. And after this year of working with Callan and really learning so much about my body, my gosh, I was feeling the best I ever could or had and was ready for a new goal. So my goal was to hit a bodybuilding stage. Now let me tell you, I told less than 5 people. Like no one knew I was doing this. It seemed so big, so scary. And I just needed to know that I was going to be focused. I was going to listen to my coach and it was going to be all up here. So hearing people's doubts, people telling me that I was crazy, people telling me I potentially couldn't do it, there was no room for that. So I set a boundary, right? Because I knew I had to focus on me. So as you can imagine, my workouts and my nutrition had to be kind of next level and really on point every single day. It was a true champion mentality that I had really never dug into before. I would be pushing myself with new weight machines, cardio, like sometimes leaving the gym thinking, okay, I did it. Am I going to be able to move tomorrow morning? But the reason I'm telling you this is that about a month into this new space, a total stranger at the gym came up to me and asked me, What are you training for? The word training is what I want us to focus on here. He did not say, hey, I've never seen you before. What brings you to the gym to work out? What kind of workouts are you doing? Or you're so consistent. I see you here every day. He said, what are you training for? He already knew I had a goal and he didn't even know my first name. I almost fell off the dang treadmill. I mean, how could this total stranger, this man that I do not know, like, did someone tell him? And then I thought, no, I've only told my very closest people. He could tell by that blank look on my face that I was processing what had just happened. So lean in with me here because I do not want you to miss what he said to me next. He said, I've seen you here and you are so focused and dedicated. Like you don't get caught up in the idle chatter. And just when I think you're about done with your workout, you keep going. Alex, who now is a buddy of mine at the gym, he could see that twitch in my eye from 50 feet away. He could see that I was focused, I was unfazed, and I was uninterested about what was going on around me because I had a goal. I knew my goal was something that only about 1% of the population even attempt. And that out of all the people I knew in the world, Callan, your new dietitian, was the only one who had completed this seemingly really lofty goal. I knew it'd be hard. I knew it'd be uncomfortable, but I also knew that I was going to have to show up for the challenge every single day like I never had before. I'm being honest, I was constantly questioning if I would be ready by stage day. But you know what I didn't question? I did not ever question whether or not I would show up every single day and give my personal best. I also never questioned my coach, ever, because she had the answers and could see what I was capable of far more than I could. That's the level of focus and excellence that whether you believe me right now or not, you all have it inside of you. Mindset is a decision. It is not something that you are born with or something you have or don't have. It is something that you 100% can learn and take action on every single day. You might be thinking like, this sounds so extreme. All I want to do is clean up my nutrition. I get it. You are barely diving into the world of macros and you're learning all these sensitivities. But let me assure you, the reason I'm telling you this story is that if your mind is laser focused on being disciplined and not just making it through the day and going through the motions, but instead on focusing on like, what does your finish line look like? Anything that you wrote down on that piece of paper that's a goal, or that maybe you weren't feeling bold enough to put in ink. It's possible. So what is that one thing that we told you we were going to unlock in this training that you have to remember as you start this journey to become the best version of you? Your mind is going to give up on you long before your body and your habits ever will. Mindset is a choice, but it is also the secret ingredient behind any plan you're going to try, any goal you want to reach, and between who you are today and who you want to be. The most important muscle that you are ever going to train is your brain. And it is how to make the right decisions for you in the moment. Be disciplined, not just consistent. And to tell yourself at every turn when you are looking at like food that's not going to make me feel good versus food that will, and I'm not using examples because it's different for all of us. and thinking like, I'm going to choose I am going to thank myself for later. That can be a mantra you could tell yourself. Like, do the things my future self will thank me for. I want to leave you here knowing that we are so proud of you already. We are so pumped to have you as part of our team. And truthfully, we cannot wait to see what you do, who you impact, and the ripple effect that you make in your family, professional life, etc., etc. If you aren't in VIP, we really want to hear from you. We would love to celebrate you. Keep us updated. And just know that this mindset piece, there's so much more that we do with this in lifestyle coaching. If you are thinking, man, I need more of this, listen to the podcast, contact us about coaching, and just know that behind all of you is a team of people at Callahan Enterprises just cheering so that you can win. Thank you guys for joining us. We hope you have the best day.